After hiking around the Andes Mountains and seeing Machu Picchu, we made our way to the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. There are a lot of islands within the Galapagos, but we chose to just stay on San Cristobal. You can island hop around, but it can get expensive pretty fast. So instead we just spent all our time in San Cristobal, exploring beaches and checking out the local wildlife. This included a lot of crabs, iguanas, seabirds, and a lot of sea lions as well. You could have some pretty interesting conversations with them. Some of them you could even sleep with. Not like that. Problem I found with the Galapagos, the beach is always full. I don't know if you have to get here at 6 a.m. or something real early, set up shop, but all the good spots are taken everywhere. By the time we checked out a few beaches and walked around, the first day was already done. On the second day we planned on going to a tortoise sanctuary nearby. The tortoise sanctuary was semi-wild. It's a huge plot of land. They raise them until they're about 7 years old, and then they let them roam the property, which again is quite a few hundred hectares. They also only get fed twice a week, and we just happened to get there during one of those times. We then heard of a short hike you could do up to a volcano, but the weather wasn't really on our side for this one. What?
I thought it'd be funny if I sneezed really loud.
After getting our fill of the town and beach walks, we decided it was time to hit the water. We planned on doing a 360 island boat tour that stops at various beaches along the way and lets you snorkel or scuba dive. It's my first time doing some serious snorkeling, and I realized with my eye prescription that I can't just wear regular snorkel goggles. My prescription's pretty bad, and after 5 dive shops told me no, I thought snorkeling was a lost cause. Then at the last shop, an older lady pulled out a dusty pair that had lenses literally super glued to the inside. And they were exactly what I needed. It was time to hit the water. Again, I'm normally a terrestrial hiker. Sorry about the filming for this section here, but there's some pretty amazing wildlife. Our first stop was an inlet off the ocean. It had this little circular pond that every few hours with the tide would become cut off from the rest of the inlet. It actually had a sea turtle and some reef sharks floating around in it. Otherwise, we snorkeled in the inlet itself, and it was really shallow. You were maybe 2 feet above some resting reef sharks the whole time. think one of the main feelings with the Galapagos was being on these beaches and snorkeling in this water with sea turtles and sharks and getting that feeling, and then next thing you know there's scrubland and cactuses and old volcano calderas around. It just had this really weird feeling to it. It was definitely unique. After a few more quick stops, it was time to hit the big one, Kicker Rock. There's a rock formation out in the ocean with nothing really else nearby, so there's a lot of concentrated wildlife here. I've read a lot of stories about some pretty crazy wildlife sightings here, but at first it was just very cold and dark and we didn't really see that much. Sure enough, after a few minutes, some animals started popping up. We started seeing some bigger reef sharks than those in the inlet, and for some reason my first instinct was to chase after them. I lost that race. Eventually I was following another shark and then suddenly I saw an eagle ray floating nearby. I remember I actually just started laughing here because I was just surrounded by like 3 sharks, sea turtles, and the eagle ray. Overall, I don't know if I can go snorkeling again because it seems like I set the bar pretty damn high with this one. Before we knew it, our 4 or 5 days in the Galapagos were up, and it was time to head back to Peru for the Amazon rainforest. Thanks for checking it out.